Esports. This could be our match of the week as well. Even though Rogue Warriors are 0-2, they've got another hard schedule, and they need to prove they're up where they belong.
Now check this out. I have taken a look at their bans, and they are banned Olaf 100% of the time. I'm talking about Rogue Warriors, that is. So I would be surprised if they let it go now. If they do, then that means that Haro would actually have adapted to it.
Preacher, it's going to be banned by Top Esports, so still for Rogue Warriors. I don't know if they lose the percentage. I think it still gets added by that anyway. For Haro, aggressive pick. He likes the Rek'Sai. This one's also banned away. So double jungle ban here for Top Esports to run into this series. The Silas as well. But look at what's open. For the first time tonight, Aatrox has slid through the cracks.
And mandatory first pick as well. So 369 going to have a really good time. Now moving it over to the Sejuani over on the other side.
But wow, 83% win rate. Aatrox has won 5 out of 6 games here in the LPL. That's why this is a mandatory ban.
Yeah, of course. And also, for those of you who haven't caught up with it, there was a mini rework where his ultimate doesn't guarantee the revive, but of course it gives so much in terms of healing and movement speed.
Of course, we've been in 9.10, 9.11 for a while, so we look at Aatrox, understand the kit a little better, what gets paired up with it in the rest of the composition, because you've got the Nico, you've got the Sejuani, which are priority picks here in the LPL. We do see the Lux coming through, so Ben wants to return and see if it gets paired up with an AD carry, because the Civ is still open.
This is a really solid pick right now, even just for the support matchup, because as the more CC you can provide for the rest of your team, the better. It is always going to be shielding and CC, and also potentially move forward as well. I'm interested to see the bans in the second phase, because if ADC bans do come out from Rogue Warriors, I would expect a Sivir to be relied on just for moving forward.
Sivir, maybe the Lucian as well there. We'll see what gets paired. At the moment for Rogue Warriors, a priority towards one of those flexes. What's going on? Because ignore that, Annie. Don't worry. Top Esports have gone for the Trundle again. The natural counter into the Sejuani. Rogue Warriors have a couple of choices. They can still play with this. This is still technically a flex because we have Renekton's mid in the LPL consistently.
And it is unique to the LPL that we see a lot of Renekton's mid. I wouldn't even be surprised if this fell into the hands of Huatian. We still need to see the matchup, though, especially for Top Esports, to see whether he wants to rotate at mid or top. We've seen that he does really well into Silas pre-6, so that is definitely a really good matchup. Unfortunately, he is banned away inside of this game, so yeah.
See the cannon as well. Take stock of what's getting banned here, ladies and gentlemen, because it's still around the flexes. Jace, Aurelia, Silas, Ryze. That's 4. We still have the Camille, which has been played by Knight. Yuumi gets banned because Rogue Warriors don't have a support AD carry combo just yet. They've locked in their top side of the map. And Top Esports can start getting rid of that quickly. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see the Sivir ban from them.
Of course, either that or just pick it up, because Rogue Warriors, they do need something in order to propel their team forward. You've got a couple of dashes, but the movement speed would be a little bit better.
There we go. Banned away by Rogue Warriors instead, so they don't want to first pick it coming out of the second ban phase.
Now priority falls on both the Lucian and the Xayah. Time to see which one falls into which one's hands. I would like to see the Xayah onto Rogue Warriors, especially just because of the AoE synergy that is provided by the rest of the team members, but it is really a preference.
I think a preference for me, though, Preacher, would be, no point saying it anymore.
Yeah,
I was going to say another support ban onto one guy, but is Morgana still open? Whether we see that in a composition that really can go forward. Morgana, very valuable. So for Rogue Warriors, 15 seconds to decide, but like we're talking about with the AD carry, also who helps you go forward?
Yeah, it's definitely this pick. It's the Sivir Light, Sivir Ultimate Light, but it still does propel everybody forward, which is so essential for this composition, because we were talking about how exactly does Nico get into the deeps of the enemy team and really get her ultimate off onto multiple members. That is a prime way for the Karma to deliver her.
Yep. Going to be support Karma, of course. We know that now. But Top Esports, look, they've got flexibility in the top side. What is a safe blind to wondering what is actually going to be up there? Against the Nico, against the Renekton. Yeah, give him a Victor.
It's very interesting if it is Victor locked in, because that would suggest that Knight is actually going to pick up Aatrox into the mid lane. If he takes that into Huatian as well, then that is going to be a rough matchup for Rogue Warriors. It's going to be a really unsafe laning phase.
Remember, I will keep in the back of your mind that Aatrox can still go in the top lane.
He can. Yeah, he can go either. So I'm fearful for Rogue Warriors if they misalign their picks to send the Nico into the Victor and also the Renekton into the Aatrox.
Well, we've got some time to think about that a little deeper, because Xayah's been locked in here. So Xayah Lux bottom lane. A lot of tether, a lot of root. What does Wuji do? Because he's an Ezreal player. Ezreal available. doesn't want to go for that, wants a hyper carry potential or something that's just going to smack him in lane.
They're going for the backwards. They're trolling us, right?
But you know what? Karma, Ardent Sensor, onto the Renekton, onto something like this Vayne.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Why not?
I mean, it's for the matchup because you can easily dodge out the light binding from Lux, so that does work in your favor. But other than that, the range advantage and also the poke from the Q of Desire will be painful. So don't look for the laning phase. It's more for once you get scaled. The question is, how exactly are the resources going to be fed to Wuji?
But let's see where everything goes, because there's a cleanse on the mid lane, whether it is going to be the victor in the end. Looks like Holder will be taking Renekton top now. He's been playing this quite a lot. So I'm not too surprised there. And to be fair, we just watched the whole highlight reel of him playing Nico.
Does make sense.
Going up against the Victor, Renekton into the Aatrox top, and it just makes the matchups more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, just wait until the level 6s. That's really what I'm thinking. And if you wait and let your junglers go secure, this is going to be one hype series, because I want to see how XX plays against Haru in specific. They are both extremely smart and aggressive early game junglers. And it's up to their pathing in specific to dictate who gets the lion's share of the attention in these games.
A lot to break down in this game. Rogue Warriors coming off the back of a 0-2 start into the summer split. Against FPX, RNG, it's hard. Like, they've got such a rough schedule to kick off the summer split. And then you look at top esports and you're like, hang on, we're top verse. Well, top verse Vici Gaming, who Vici 2-1. Oh, right, sorry. Top 2-1.
Yep.
Vici took them to game 3, excuse me. And then the 2-0 over Dominus Esports, who don't look playoff ready at the moment. So there's an argument to be made that top esports have had such an easy start, whereas Rogue Warriors have not. And this is going to be the balancing factor to find out where these two teams sit, but most predominantly, Rogue Warriors.
This is going to be it, especially from the get-go. We need to keep our eyes constantly focused on just how they try to thwart their opponents coming in.
It's coming into game 1 here. Show the Merc. Drive it across the screen. We're not that lucky this time. It doesn't matter. All the same, we're getting into this first game of the second series. Rogue Warriors and Top Esports. And that ain't a Vayne, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it as cinematic as cinematic gets. That got worse and worse. He's like, holy moly, I broke my voice, and I'm coming down.
But at that point, you're already committed. So
this is when you know there's the problem that LGD, much like TSM in America, which, to be fair, TSM died down after a couple of years.
So
not
like
when
LGD.
TSM's playing, but no, not the team, Breach. I'm not talking about the team, talking about the chants.
Of course.
The LGD chants have just fired up here, so give it another couple of years and the meme will be gone. And might end up being a team like Fiji, who knows?
Oh, okay.
Well, did you think that was going to be a Vayne mid?
I didn't think that, but what I need to keep an eye on, of course, is where these guys are starting. So this is interesting that Haru has actually opted to start on his red without any assistance as well. Sejuani doesn't do that much damage earlier on in terms of the clearing speed, so he's always going to be later to the punch, and XX is always going to be forward. So when you take a look at both the setup coming out from Knight and also potentially from Ben in the bottom lane, it heavily favors TES.
I would really like to take a look at this Karma, because one guy has opted in for Comet, and last time we saw Karma support, I believe it was Comet as well. Inspiration into the secondary tree, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but Comet, a lot more damage in the lane. Airy is always a more defensive option, so I'm expecting 3-4 points in the queue, see if that goes any further for one guy who, of course, has also taken Ignite in lane. Going up against Ben, everything makes perfect sense here for the support choice.
Yeah, so while it's going to be shielding in the team fights, it's definitely going to be poke in the lane. It's to facilitate Wuji and to make up for his early game deficit.
If anyone's wondering what that is our POV stream, much like ProView, except at the moment it is free on Douyu. You can go and check out the link. All you have to do is go to Douyu, and you can find your own way there. So ProView going to be on night 9 this time, and he's taken Unsealed Spellbook on the Victor, so that's quite curious.
Definitely want to watch out for that one, because it shows his choices in terms of when he wants to pick the TP as opposed to the cleanse, and just how smartly he uses summoners.
Also Cleanse in this lane, going to get out of the Tangle Barbs quite easily. Preacher, we didn't get to break down the compositions here. As always, you know, we always start the game, we're like, holy moly, there's mid-skirmishes. In the LPL, it is super hard to talk about compositions because already you can see XX is looking towards the top side with Holder pushed out, and the bottom side are pushing out as well with Haro very low clearing his Grom. But while we do have time, Preacher, walk me through what top have drafted and how this can get them into the mid-game, where Rogue Warriors look pretty strong on their mid-game.
So it's definitely a 1-4 where 369 plans to teleport into team fights. You can take a look at the 4 members of TES, which is everybody except for the Aatrox, trying to hold their own. You've got a lot of pick potential coming out from Ben as well. So everything is facilitated very nicely to buy that time for the Aatrox in the side lane. Obviously a very strong champion in the current meta. Taking a look over at Rogue Warriors and how they want to counter that in specific, it is more or less just buy as much time as possible for the scaling factor, because you got the Vayne and you've also got the Karma, who wants maximum points in both the Q for lane and also the shield for team fights.
You know what I want right now, though? I want to stay on this top lane because Holder into 369 is where it's at. We hyped this matchup coming into this series as to what it would be. Well, XX wants to start influencing it more.
This is good.
And he's got a great angle.
And if he gets this early gank, it could prove disastrous for Holder.
Oh my god, I think 369 could actually solo him, but XX is coming in to make sure he can't escape. Flash is available, Slice and Dice is there, he burns it, and that's an easy gank there from the Trundle.
Already a flash down means that 369 is going to be running rampant. Take a look at where the Sejuani is for Rogue Warriors, not anywhere near the top side, so by the time that she even comes here to facilitate, already gone and already reset the lane. This is an excellent lead.
Just back to CSing, that's all he can do at the moment. Double back now from 369 and XX in that top side. And a Kindle gem picked up early. Refillable potion in there. Control ward as well. The priority on Vision here, nice and early from top Esports.
Yeah, this is what we expect, because Sejuani is always going to be slower in terms of the actual clear speed than the Trundle, just because she's more tank-oriented than damage-oriented. And XX will always be able to get off one free gank over Haro before he backs.
We're seeing the replay for Ants in the bottom left-hand corner. Not sure why. They just decided.
I mean, it was a good gank. It was a flash burn.
Yeah, I just put it full screen, you know. Just interesting. I'm just so picky tonight.
You are.
I would also like to point out that Holder has picked up the Executioner's Call. So that is a very early pickup, preparing for the level 6 mark of 369.
Mandatory as well into the Aatrox, might I say, and also into XX if it's going to be a 2v1 or a 2v2. Denying the healing from Trundle is going to be huge.
And Haro's coming up to the top side. He's not level 6, but he can still inflict some damage. 369 was in a good position that he's probably going to have to... No, he gets it. Yeah, that's a feels good as an Aatrox. Yeah. Ward cleared out, though, so Haro can rinse and repeat or go for a cheeky dive. Maybe even an invade, but there's nothing here on this blue side.
A huge amount of time wasted for Haro, whereas in comparison, XX is farming the bottom side of his map after he just took his top side. He's still going to be firmly in the lead. The question is how XX is actually going to make his way into the bottom lane, but we're yet to see, because there is still the setup always available.
At least you can say that for the side of Rogue Warriors, the top side of the map are winning. They've got a CS advantage, one that has just been negated as trade's always going to be bigger from the Karma, but then again, Loken sends out the feathers and makes it so.
And it's also double points into the shield for Ben, so you can see it's deceptive in terms of which one's going to come ahead.
And of course, the shield max is standard here for the Lux support, so excited to see how that traverses out because of how aggressive Loken's been, but Holder not winning this top lane as much as we thought he would, but the mid lane for Huatien is an improvement. That's a lead against Knight.
It is. It means that he's going to have a good time transitioning. I mean, it's a Victor of all things. So naturally, he's going to take some time in order to get his augments as well as other things, which will buy Huatien the one-item power spike that Nikos have been known to get, and to get that ultimate off way before Knight can have an impact.
This comp likes to go fast, and let me just tell you that a comp that likes to go fast getting double cloud, it's okay. Especially for the Victor, when he presses Q, he's after you. So after getting the Dragon, XX walks up to the rest of the camps and start stealing them away, while Haro was doing the same thing, and he's still posturing around where Holder is.
Making another return game.
As the Glacial Augment, or rather the, what's it called, Glacial Prison, there's a flash burn immediately by 369. Not willing to take the fight.
The respect flash, because of course there is always the heal denial, so even if you did pop your ultimate, not guaranteed to have any sort of interference. It's a good build from Holder, and now they've got to push more.
It's turning into a dive. The World Ender comes out immediately. He's stunned underneath turret. The Prison is there as well, and they get first blood. It ends up working out, and Rogue Warriors ahead.
2v1, not respected. XX all the way on the bottom side of the map, not making an impact for himself either. And Holder is put into a very good position in this lane after being denied.
Well executed there by Rogue Warriors. The top end jungle that we hyped up. Haro, you should know. Holder now, the name will stick on the back of your mouth or wherever things stick. At this point, gold lead, turret plating, CS advantage. Renekton in a firm grasp.
And it's great to see Haro actually adapting towards this because there was the control ward in topside. So there are two options for 369 after it's cleared. Either he dumps 75 gold on another one, which is inevitably going to be cleared, or Haro gets a free gank off. He chose the second option because 369 wanted to get his Black Cleaver very early on and paid the price for the greed.
And remember, that's first blood going over to Haro, so he's able to get up an early Cinder Hulk and start working towards that second item, which tonight on the Sejuani, we've seen the Zeke's Convergence, the Knight's Vow.
Supportive items.
Yeah, very supportive items. So it could be anything at this point. Nice binding there by Huatien. He's still winning out this lane, by the way. So not only good news in the top lane, mid throughout as well. And bottom lane, the Vayne matchup keeping stable. While 369 has found himself a cheeky Huatien. The Chaos Storm comes out and the Chameleon just scurries away.
I do believe he also showed his face very briefly in mid lane, which means that tells Holder to push this very fast. And he could be converted by Haro.
Tackle him! Nah, just get the scuttle crab. He doesn't want to take it. Holder was there as well, so smart move from 369. I feel like they would have just committed.
Wow. That is really punishing when you can't actually finish it off, but you waste the majority of your time. He could have been clearing the minions in the top lane, and you can see the discrepancy already. 74 to 82, that is the difference. Holder was hard shoving as soon as he peeked his head in mid.
And not only that, like, let's look at the things that maybe can't be seen, which is deeper vision towards that blue side. Control now of the top side river around a Rift Herald that is just spawning. Control ward in the Pixel Brush, which needs Ben to commit to. So right now you're seeing a couple of quick rotations where the support's starting to roam up. Loken coming to the top side. This will be spotted out though, so it's about how quick Rogue Warriors can adapt.
Yeah, so this could be... surely Rogue Warriors should know that the support is here as well. They don't want to fight a 5v2. And they should just be able to leave this one alone.
As we talked about last night, looking at how quick the rotation is, or rather night before, is about the Rift Herald to the top side. Getting this bottom lane to the top means you have control. You can go for this Rift Herald here and start asserting, but Rogue Warriors aren't going to let them have it.
Yeah, and finally their bottom lane is caught up as well.
Loken in a very bad position as well. Karma Shield into the AD carry, has to send the feathers out, but the block down Wuji, who has to flash over the wall. He hasn't gone into the final hour just yet, but they're committing still onto Loken, who heals out. That's a lot burn from Rogue Warriors as they jump on for the binding once again. It's onto Wuji, and XX has found his mark. They have so much junk in the trunk, and top esports with Huatien coming in for the flank, but the Rogue Warriors mid laner has missed his window. So many flashes burnt. Rogue Warriors don't get the fight, and Knight just sends down a spicy storm for good measure.
So much committed onto the back line of TES and not being able to pick up any kills. Rogue Warriors was overextended, and before they knew it, they were divided and conquered.
They wanted Loken so bad in that fight, but they just couldn't get him. And now in a 4 versus 5, will they commit? Because there's no TP on Wuji. He has to walk back.
Still 4 members. They do have Holder, but he's the only person who can really jump in.
Look at where Ben is. He's going to find the binding onto the support. He doesn't have the ulti. He has the E. He lets it burn while Holder jumps into the front line. They still delayed it. Ben gets it anyway. And they get the Rift Herald. Rogue Warriors keep walking towards them, and top say, yes, good. It just feels so good.
Oh, beautiful play coming out as well, especially the positioning from Ben. He caught out one guy, and even the last auto attack. I mean, that was perfect to secure the Rift Herald. Now, a firm lead for TES. They don't even need to drop it right now. They could go back, lick their wounds, and then use it for a bigger push than simply some turret plates. They want to get another turret from it as well.
They should be able to get a lot of this plating, as you mentioned just there. 2 minutes until it expires, and so many lanes to choose from. King's going to the bottom side for the AD carry. Trundle's still here. And XX might end up taking it to the top side after the wave gets cleared.
Yeah, it is definitely up to XX, especially seeing as he did neglect 369 after he did the very initial gank to burn the flash down from Holder. So if he were to put the gold down onto the Aatrox, who now has an assist, it would bump him up in terms of Black Cleaver mobility a whole lot more.
Ben also has mobility boots, by the way, so this is a scary Lux that you just don't want to deal with, or rather, you're going to be running blind in the brush, and yes, and so it begins. So 2-0 Lux already, mobility boots, like I mentioned before, but looks like the Ardent Sensor coming very, very soon. As you compare, and you go, well, Karma has a Fiendish Codex. She's obviously going for the Athenes. When is it going to come?
Another important thing, also no Mobies. It is a very big factor because usually that is the thing that allows you to catch them out from both of the two teams.
You know what the issue is, Preachy? You've been playing with me a lot, and Karma's don't always go mobility boosts. It's just me because I like to go fast.
Oh, it's good. It's important for early game rotations as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if you take...
Let's see, because a lot of the time it's been the only inputs of Lucidity. Get that max CDR ASAP on the Karma. I just listen to, you know, gas, and just really want to be the fast on a champion that's not the fast. But speaking of the devil, or rather the fast devil, here comes the Rift Herald to the mid lane, and Rogue Warriors, they're going to have to move quick.
Well, look who they're playing against necessarily. Bop for 2 plates, and they don't go for any more.
Oh, well, they find Knight, though. What the end? The Tangle Barb misses.
Good dodge.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Rogue Warriors are going to commit. That could have been their chance.
It could have been, however, Knight doesn't get rooted down. So, once again, we need to talk about who exactly Rogue Warriors are playing into. They're playing into a speedy team comp. Not only the Mobies onto Ben as well, but also the Cloud Drake, now the second one up as well. You need everything you can in order to counter that mobility.
And while a lot of you at home would say that Rift Herald wasn't worth it, well, 2 bits of turret plating went straight onto Knight. At least it was shared as far as I could see. So the rest of Rogue Warriors, they will pick up this Dragon, but they've already started the fight on the side of XX.
Curious.
He takes away the stats of Haro, but as the Ignite burns down, Haro still wants to take the re-engage.
Now they're going to disengage everything. It was a TP burned by Holder, and it was completely denied away by Knight, putting down his W to catch him as soon as he came out. Now it's an advantage to 369 because nobody is defending this, and it's a long walk of shame back.
He's just been hitting this turret away slowly but surely. I believe another part of the gold, or rather Loken and Ben picked up their own bit of gold from turret plating in the bottom side. So each lane from top esports, once again, the IG light here, winning out throughout the map.
And it is really their aggressive teamfight playstyle that is working out for them. So far, they've fought over most objectives, even the ones that they've let go, like the Cloud Drake over to Rogue Warriors. They were still positioned in a way in which they wanted it. They just backed out because 369 was pushing the top lane. It's just smart play.
I tried my best to talk up the Cloud Dragon, but
what a piece.
Yeah, look, I don't think each team cares. They go, well, there's a third one coming. Let's just get that out of the way and see what else comes next. Because at this point, if you want to look at how that gets contested, well, a simple Cloud Dragon, a lot of warding down the bottom side for top esports. They own that zone. While Rogue Warriors pinging towards the top side, they want to establish vision early, make sure the river's safe, because top esports roaming up to where now Wuji and Huangai have made themselves.
I mean, it's funny to say that it's going to be 3 Cloud Drakes, but take a look at the team composition of top esports. Besides the Aatrox, they don't really have a front line, and if 369 doesn't get a kill before he dies, then he's not actually going to get the revive either. So all of that works in the favor of Rogue Warriors if they can find a pick. So those Cloud Drakes might actually do more work than you'd imagine.
Let's not forget that XX is going to be the front line here. Like, Trundle is going to be a huge late game wizard. Sorry, troll, that's it. Actually, trolls can be wizards, so I'm sorry. Loken in the top side, avert your eyes because this is going to be pretty bloody if Rogue Warriors get here first. Loken's still hard pushing this while Rogue Warriors really want to make a move quickly.
Yeah, everybody is converging up. Ben is here first, so he can always lock people down.
He stopped the engage from Haro, who's just sitting in the brush, avoiding away. Holder's just behind him, but that's not really Holder. That's the fake one. That's Nico.
Not it.
That's the real Holder. Okay. So, Holder for Holder, moving back to the mid lane. Knight's like, which one is that? Then Huatian shows his face.
So far, though, it's just the Huatian farming game. We've yet to see him with the massive engages that we know.
Junk out of the trunk from XX. They lock down the support again. It's the beam! Ben's going to get locked down by the permafrost. Haro's still running for him. He just engages him, takes him out, sends him to the death again. And Loken with his feathers out of the way. The flail comes through. Haro flashes for the double, but a great blade caller here. Pop Blossom down. Rogue Warriors still taking this fight. It's theirs. They continue to run forward. Huatian flushes in with the Tangle Barbs. But there's so much trunk in the junk this time. And Knight underneath turret needs to be careful because he's still down low.
Top just baited themselves into his one over.
Still going. Holder's going to get knocked up.
Bop him.
369 just says, come here. That's a solo kill.
I was about to say, on the top side of the map, Top actually baited themselves into it because Ben has no points into anything except for shield. So everything else did barely any damage. And he was standing still for most of it, which allowed Huangai to tank it up and then Rogue Warriors re-engage.
I mean, it's not a singe, but sometimes you don't chase the victor. Props to Knight, though. He absolutely blasted the end of that fight.
And he also dodged out skill shots to make sure that he was alive for all of it.
He really did. Now Ben's going to help him out, search the brushes a bit, but we're going to have a look at replay, because again...
Catch out onto Huangai, only half HP. Ben is now the primary target and locked down. Obviously no way to escape with the shield either. And once that happens and Loken is forced up to the top side of the map, it's only a matter of formalities before he's taken out. No more damage coming out from the backline, means Hua Tian can just clean it up.
Good cleanse from Knight as well to get out. Burns the flash and then this. Oh, Wuji hates life.
Going forward on a vein.
Oh, hold us up the TP to die.
Oh!
That's fair. I mean, it could have been a lot worse for Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, and Holder flashes. Does it get out?
No, Preacher, we saw this.
Oh,
he
wait,
died.
Replay. Yeah, obviously.
Oh, meanwhile, let's go back live because Knight just destroyed. He died, Preacher.
No, not in this replay live.
He died, Preacher.
Dang. That's rough.
Knight just destroyed, I think, Wuji again. Or someone died. A replay of the replay would be nice. I don't know why we didn't come out of the replay.
We'll use the R word again.
Replay.
It's bound to happen.
We've got a dragon coming up as well. So, boys, buckle in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Rogue Warriors down 2,500 gold at this point. And Haro's in a weird flank position. No one would expect him here.
Oh, this is good as well because he can simply steal it away. But if
Send
you use
it.
a smite, no, don't use smite.
Oh no! Blade caller. Look, props to Loken, sure. I don't know if he saw him there, but he's like, oh, there's Sejuani here, guys.
It's good reactions. And you definitely need that as an ADC at this part of the game because if you're not and you're not always focused on the Sejuani, you could get caught out with
Hara's like, they won't see me here
Round
a second
two?
time.
No, please.
Ben's asking.
No,
you know there's a Sejuani here.
They don't know. I don't think they know.
Though. There's 5 members moving mid. Now it's irrelevant. Unless they come back to Dragon.
What are they doing?
Is Haro AFK?
No, he's not AFK. Oh, he's finally moving back.
I mean, now he's spotted. They're like, hello. Over the wall. That is a fun sound when he Arctic assaults. But top esports, they see Haro and they say, well, that mid lane turret was free.
Special Agent Haro actually tanking his team now.
Ooh, almost caught out. Junk out again.
Not respecting the duration of the passive as well, so it didn't actually pull it back with the chains.
Can Rogue Warriors contest this though? Do you want to contest the Cloud Dragon? Well, Rogue Warriors they need to fight right now, and XX in the middle of the pit. Going to get locked down with the Glacial Prisoners. Holder gets half health immediately. He does get the steal, but for Rogue Warriors, is this going to be worth it? Piggy down, and now for Holder, the alligator, the movie theater. Holder gets bopped on back. Great condemned by Wuji to save his top laner, but Knight is still chasing him up. Sends a Chaos Storm. Here we go. The Ray comes down, and Knight picks up his second kill. All for a Cloud Dragon.
Well played by Knight as well to continue chasing and to know the limits of the movement speed on the queue. Everything was instigated by Holder jumping, by Haro jumping into the pit and trying to get that. Because there is more at stake than just your life for trading it for a Drake steal when there is an Aatrox on the enemy team. He gets the passive, which means nobody can actually focus top esports, which buys all the time in the world for Knight to catch up.
Every single time top get a kill, you say, well, what's at stake? A Victor, an Aatrox, a Xayah, that's what.
It's getting them more and more to the magic number. If you take a look at the item breakpoints, I mean, it's the gold. There's conveniently.
You got to give me a number, Preacher. What's the magic number?
6,000.
Thank you.
For your 2-item power spike.
Okay, all right. I was like, this is just a random number.
No, I'm looking out for Knight right now, and I'm going to check it out as right after we get our inventories back, because I saw that he had a Loon's Echo.
Colonel, down you go, sir. We found XX. There's the Permafrost. Does he have the ulti available? The Glacial Prison only just came up there for Haro. He's locked down with a light binding.
Forced to flash, though, which means that now XX can't get into precarious situations. What I wanted to talk about was the item power spike before Colonel came up. It is the Luna's Echo that is available for Knight, which means even more burst coming out of the front-loaded Victor. And now, everything else on the table as well. Even the cooldown reduction from XX, so he always has his ultimate ready. This is a good time for TES.
You will say that, though, for Knight going into the 2-item Spooky Ghost into the hose. Haro going to get spotted out there. He's trying to play precariously around the vision right now, but just not hitting the mark. He's got Warmogs himself, so 2 items on the mid lane. The Warmog's going to be a big pick up there. No defensive maneuver. Instead, just for himself. Holder still holding on to that blade alongside the Black Cleaver, while Wuji just feels pain in the middle.
Oh no, he's
Garbage goes up again. Look at that. Chaos Storm and heal. He would have been dead.
It would have. That's flat numbers, and it was also with the shield, but now from the side, I don't think Hua Tian could do this.
I mean, Holder's... He's out. Oh, sorry, this is a real holder. Now that's a real Haro.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want anything to do with this, but if he doesn't, then Top just gets this turret.
Top just can't be stopped at this point. Rogue Warriors at half health need to go in. It's Wuji who hasn't found the engage just yet. Holder wants to take it, and Pop Blossom used on no one.
Woo, that was a little bit of a fumble. Everybody was on a different part of the page, especially Huatian trying to go in.
Huatian with no ult, that means even more so this inhibitor turret's going to go down, and Top Esports continuing to triumph forward while Holder's like, this is the flank of my life.
But Holder, you need to do it carefully, and it has to be past 369.
He's going to deal with 369 first anyway in the 1v1. Renekton not feeling too good just there, but they bump and they run. And the inhibitor drops too. 6k gold lead. Top Esports. This is just clean, crisp, and I think at this point, it's hard to look at Rogue Warriors and ask them how. It
is. I mean, that was a huge fumble coming out from Huatian as well, which does buy so much room for Top. As soon as you know that the Pop Blossom can't be used to engage onto your team, you all move forward as a 5-man unit because there is nothing that can actually delay you. Also, Haro used his Glacial Prison early, caught XX, but immediately taken out, means that Top were just good to go with all of the AoEs down for Rogue Warriors.
And with Baron up, they can reset, they can head toward the objective. 369 has the teleport available. Holder thinking he can take the 1v1. I'm curious to see how this goes because Caulfield's Warhammer as an item advantage, but Holder has the Executioner's Calling. We don't get to see that just yet, which is my disappointment.
CDR is also priority for Aatrox, so if you can get to a good breakpoint, your Qs are permanently up, and especially into Renekton, stopping him means that you win the 1v1 even with the blade.
2,500 in that bottom lane. There's 2,000 in the mid lane. And that's where the majority of the gold's gone. Top is like a K, jungle. Actually a big advantage to Haro. So what he's done with that gold so far, he's a big tank. There's going to be a lot of hope here on the engage of Rogue Warriors as Huatian might be caught out. The Tangle Barb onto the key member in the Lux. And he'll be able to escape, but you know where Top Esports going to go next.
Yep, they're actually just going to turn their attention completely there. It might actually be a death brush because they haven't set up ample vision for their team, which indicates they don't actually want to go straight for the Baron. So they are trying to pick off members in transition.
Still in the top lane. Look at where 369 is able to push out on the side.
Right back up.
4 versus 1 at the moment. Rogue Warriors aren't here in time. In fact, Huatian almost gets cornered out once again. And this turret going down pretty fast with the left of the minions just hitting away.
Meanwhile, this is also enabled by the fact that 369 is playing Nuisance in the bottom part of the map as well, holding Holder there permanently. Holder can't actually use his teleport if he's clearing minions because he's going to be spotted out by that vision and easily just going to be cancelled by 369's Q.
Yeah. In this game, I'm not a big, not a big lover of going, right, well, this is over. And it's not for Rogue Warriors. Look at the Sejuani, look at the Nico. In this game, I see Rogue Warriors coming back after, wow, Top Esports just get an Infernal Dragon with one hell of a Pop Blossom. Like, when I say that, I mean one hell of a Pop Blossom. Why are we looking at that? Was that a failed flash? Oh, no. What? No, wait, was it? No.
No.
The hell? What? Someone please DM me on Twitter. Tell me what that just was. What did I miss? I don't get it. Okay, anyway.
You're missing what's happening in the present, Asterix.
No, I'm not. There's an Infernal Dragon that just got taken, and now we're setting up for Baron.
Of course.
Or topsiders. Top Esports are going to the top side.
Ah, this trader. Finally swinging all the way to TES. You didn't see the glory of Aatrox, but he's definitely in your face now. He's running towards Rogue Warriors, and the fact that he hasn't been put down in lane means that he's going to have a better and better time as the game goes on.
83% win rate, 5 out of 6 games won. That's Aatrox in the LPL.
That's it.
Looking to add another one in, just put that percentage even further up. Top Esports in full grasp of this game, and now Death Dance picked up for the Aatrox top.
Who knew that if you put a team fighter into a team fight meta, especially a team fight region, that he's going to do really well. 369 also being a very good front line along with XX. They're pseudo front lines, but right now stealing the tank away from Haro means that they can get beefy up there.
All right, trying to clear out vision on the top side here for Rogue Warriors, but Top Esports have so much wave clear so quickly. The small amount of vision Rogue Warriors were able to get, that's disappearing quick.
And it's interesting to see that Ben's actually using his E as vision, not necessarily as damage. Obviously, as a support Lux, it's a good use of it. However, It's worrying that there's still so much vision that is not cleared away by Rogue Warriors on the top part of the map around Baron. It means that Top are simply looking for the team fights rather than the actual Baron, and the Baron itself is acting as a bait to enable them to fight Rogue Warriors.
I'm just super surprised that we have tier 1
here it is.
on the Karmos. Rogue Warriors might have found their pick. Teleport coming in. Platien gets a slow on to no one. Misses everything as Loken sends himself up. Pop Blossom's down. Loken flashes out of it. What an AD carry here from Top Esports as 369 jumps on Knight as well. With everyone else, there's no Pop Blossom to look forward to as Wuji. Going to be hit 1, 2.
Oh.
No blast cone for you. Get over here, champion. 369 doesn't die. Wuji doesn't either. But everyone else from Rogue Warriors just get absolutely cindered.
And denied away for the second time. Huatien missed his ultimate, not by his own fault, but because Loken flashed forward instead of backwards, which is naturally where you expect ADCs to go. Such smart play, secures his own life.
But not only that, his Blade Caller pulled in and hit 2 people. So we're going to talk about Loken in a second, I know, Preacher, because Baron's getting done right now, and Haro just wants to walk in, even if he's going to die for it. Baron's gone, Haro, what did that achieve? Dead piggy.
Added just a little bit to the Baron power play as well. But as soon as we get the replay up, we really do need to highlight that ADC, because Loken is playing out of his mind this game, and so far he is just baiting a storm from all of the key ultimates on the enemy team. This is especially it. If you keep an eye on where he is, you know that he's going backwards, especially with his ultimate, but then flash forwards to dodge the Pop Blossom.
He got one guy and Holder with that as well.
The double root, when you have XX and also Ben on your team, that is enough.
We're getting to see the other part of this fight as that's a flash forward from Ben.
It is.
Oh, and Loken's just going to get this, isn't he?
And being caught out, yeah.
Pretty simple stuff there from Loken. Well, at least he made it look so easy, but an awesome play from Top Esports. As Rogue Warriors were on their last legs, they tried to make something happen, but Platien not able to get the Pop Blossom. Rogue Warriors now 11k gold behind in this first game, and what seems like a lot of effort with not much merit here, Top Esports are going to keep on pushing.
They will, and now with the Baron buff as well, what they were doing before is simply amplified. Keep in mind, there's no teleport available for 369. However, at this point, when you're pushing so close to the opponent's base, you don't need it because you can join it with a couple of dashes.
Rogue Warriors still trying for the flank in regards to Haro. By the way, Knight has a Magi Soul Stealer, something to look out for in this next fight as they find the Tangle Barbs onto XX. Wuji walks forward, but that's still a dead inhibitor, and Knight can just keep walking forward.
Regen still exists, especially for the Trundle. Just wait for minions to die. Take a look, already back to full HP. This is nothing for them.
Pop Blossom's available, Glacial Prison, the last fight, their last legs, Rogue Warriors here in game 1.
This is it. This is the final stand.
Platien only has one Nexus turret remaining. What's he going to do while Knight just bullies out Holder? This for Top Esports is a big wave coming in as well. So Haro sends out the Glacial Prison. He misses while Top Esports continue to charge it on through. Platien has the ulti. Hasn't used it just yet. Rogue
Needs
Warriors
to go in.
need to defend now. Redemption comes on down, but Wuji's just dead. Loken's taking everyone on. As Platien finally gets it down, but that's only a root, meaning Loken can keep firing. And Rogue Warriors crushed underneath their base go down in game 1 to Top.
Too little, too late coming out from Rogue Warriors. You could see that they had really good mentality, especially in the early game. However, TOP moving around the map that little bit faster, the objective control, not necessarily, but always the bait, and the lack of vision in key spots that forces Rogue Warriors to move into 5-man units always played out to their benefits. Let's talk about that last fight as well. I mean, combined between the Xayah and also every front line that was holding the line, it was working out for TOP, and Loken, he was brought to space.
Oh my god, Loken had a performance here, Preacher. And so did Knight, apparently. So, I mean, we didn't really pass that one, but Knight was just consistently ahead in that lane. Top right now are just another class.
They are, especially looking into this game. We were saying it was going to be very close, but even from the early game, while Haro did manage to do a return gank into top lane, not a lot of other impact onto the map does mean that Top Esports were allowed to use their individual solo lane mechanical prowess to simply best Rogue Warriors in straight 1v1s and 2v2.
Quicker rotation, smarter plays here from Top Esports. A 31-minute game, and remember, they are one of the faster teams here in the LPL, alongside what was in spring bring Invictus Gaming.
They were. And in this game, it really did prove that they could play a little bit slower as well. It was the methodical plays combined between always baiting around 369, and especially that last fight when even he couldn't join, but it was still outplayed. You knew that this team was destined for success. I have to keep a keen eye on all of those pop blossoms that didn't quite hit onto Loken as well.
Yeah, no, I'll agree. The pop blossoms there in that game, underwhelming. First, second one, not bad, but Huatien in a very difficult position. And
he was.
This is what I both love and hate about Rogue Warriors, is that Huatien now, a lot of the times, the Nico, you put him on a position where he has to carry, he has to get one of those, like, a really good ultimate. He did in the replays that we showed earlier on. This game, not so much.
Yeah, and it was really a matter of the fact that this Nico needs a diving buddy as well. So Holder naturally pairs with it. You see a Renekton can double dash forward and be the front line to even the front line Nico as well. However, as soon as he wanted to go for the engagement, there were plenty of good engages in which you could see Huatien, good angle and also good distance on the ultimate. Holder was already poked down to half HP, couldn't enter.
This game was a good testament to me of how top esports are like recovering from the semifinals against Invictus Gaming and coming into the summer split strong. So far, seen them against Vici Gaming, who's our other team, and Dominus Esports. This to me is a testament because we're saying Rogue Warriors is a playoff team, or potential playoff team. But they have to beat top esports to kind of prove that they're definitely on that path, because right now they're still winless.
And while we do have the explanation that this is a very tough strength of schedule, that is all it is. It feels like an excuse because if you are a playoff team, then you should be able to pick up all of these wins. And Rogue Warriors, it's only one game down in a best of 3, so they can still pull it back. I like the early game coming out from Haro. I just want more of it, more frequency, especially if you're on a Sejuani. You're never going to beat a Trundle in a straight farming battle, so you need to use your ganking, especially your knockup, to its maximum efficiency.
You definitely do, but for top esports, clean game number 1, or rather a clean ending a clean finish. Game 2 coming up very shortly to see if Rogue Warriors can fight back. We'll be right back.